here we have a floor. This is going to be the floor of the shower. This is actually what you're going to step and shower on. We've got everything fits into this outer base. So this outer base would be glued to the ground. You can see there's a gap for the water to flow under. And then this middle piece is going to have two other ribs and planks going across it. And anytime you need to clean out the basin, you just pull everything out at once, clean out whatever you need to clean out, and then slide it back in. And currently I'm working on the spine piece, as I'm calling it. I need to cut the spine at each one of these little notches to accept, and I've already done it on both sides here and in the middle, and I have to do one little cutout on each of these slats of wood. What we're hoping for is a nice tight fit. Well, I messed up pretty good here. For the most part, with all my little marks, you know, I made a mark, I cut one side of it, and then I would jump all the way to the other side, cut that mark, so I had a physical stop, right? But then I got lazy, and I just was hitting the mark, and then I got in my head, and I was thinking about other things while running the table saw, which is never a good idea. And I blew right past my marks. So by the time I figured it out, it was way over here. It was already too late. I'll put my piece in, and then cut another piece to match, glue it. It should be just fine. I guess we'll find out down the road. But when you're on the table saw, think about the table saw. Otherwise, you're bound to make mistakes. Alright, we're going to need to do a little bit of cleanup on that. Again, I'm gluing these in. They're not going to need to be structural. We're going to step on top of them, so all the force is going to be one on top of the other. So making sure that these are super flat and glued together is not going to make a huge difference in my mind. I guess you'll have to tune in later on down the road to see whether I regret that decision or not. Next, I'm going to go ahead and cut all these center pieces to help me align these outer pieces, and that should be a pretty quick process as well. So on these pieces, I'm not going to make marks and cut at each of the marks. This piece fits great. It was my test piece. So at this point, I'm going to take and set up stop blocks on both sides. So I'll bring the blade all the way up, and I'm going to hit the first tooth here, and I'll bring this side of the stop block up, stop that guy right there, and then I will flip it to the other side and hit that side and set up my stop block. Guess I'm going to need a piece of wood to go in there. So now, should put the slide there. Good, it's barely touching. So I'll take my first piece, we'll do a little test cut. Got it all the way over. All the way back to the other side. So now I just got to hollow out the middle. All right, so now that we got that all set up, I'm ready to drive through these and get them cut, so we'll... done. Okay. Made some quick work of that. Got all these cut out. All right, next thing we need to do is we're gonna cut the notches in these side rails. You can see they're on a little angle, so it might be a little bit more difficult, but we'll get them knocked out and come right back to you. There it is. So we got all these cut. Got my correct notches in here. I went ahead and numbered everything so it'll go right back into place. So I'm gonna do a dry fit real quick, and then we'll look at starting to glue and pin everything so that way everything stays where it's supposed to be. So we'll go ahead and start at the end. So it looks like I'm gonna have to take number 7 back over there and widen the hole just a smidge. That's not fitting correctly. Once that's done, we'll be able to pop, 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 pop. All right, so we got everything notched out. Everything's aligned. We are now ready to go ahead and pin and nail this entire platform. Off camera, I went ahead and did our first one, our middle, and our last, so that way now I can lift it out of place and you guys can really have an understanding of what we've got going on here. So again, this is my frame. This is what that's actually going to sit into. The shower water will go in here and empty through the drain. As you can see over there, we put our bridge arches in so the water can go from both sides to the drain, because the drain does sit a little left of this whole thing. So now we're just going to take the rest of our planks, glue and pin them in, and then we're ready to put this thing in. Alright, I want to bring you back for this long. These are all glued and pinned. So I'm going to bring you back for this last one. As you can see, the way I kept it organized, I went through and labeled them all, and the number correlates with the number here, and they were side by side. So this sucker is going to go in just like that and get pop out. There's only 13 of them, so no real way for me to really mess it up, but you know, give me an opportunity, I'll find a way. So I'm just I had some miscalculations and I've got to refill that spot where I cut too much off, but I got some high spots. I'll take my chisel and get it down to the level where I need it to be, and then I'll sand the whole thing really nice. Should be just fine. But let's do a little test fit here. Got it in place, so that'll be the main part of the shower, and it looks pretty good if I don't say so myself. So now I just got to create this front part here. Shouldn't take very long at all. It's just going to be one piece that you pick up and remove. You can use it for outside or inside or whatever, and then this over here will be a fixed piece, so no worries there either. Cool, let me get that done and I'll show you when it's finished. Alright, second piece is milled up and relatively complete. We need to seal it. Some final sanding, make sure there's nothing sharp on the edges, but that's Nicole's department. Let's go put it in the truck. I hope all those measurements fit. You know what I mean? Well, one obvious thing stands out to me.
I meant for this rail and that rail to match up all the way down, so I'm not a fan of that. But at this point, it's already done, so we will live with it. Alright, we'll keep moving on.
So originally we were going to make this whole thing out of wood. And as you probably just saw, I'm making it out of wood. But with a little convincing from Nicole, we're going to try something different. I'm not exactly sure yet, but I know for a fact on this upcoming trip we won't have time to do the actual plans. So this is going to be something that gets us in the shower temporarily, but as a proof of concept, I suppose. And then we'll have to move forward from there. Make it out of something a little bit more durable than pine. Pine and water usually don't work out, but it'll last for at least a month. Are we going to be gone on a trip for a month? Alright, so we got the general shape of what the shower extensions are going to look like. And I have yet to tack anything down. I wanted to take some measurements and make sure that we look good. I still feel like I'm going to have to arch this far side in to make sure it clears how the van wall curves up at the top. But we're going to get this tacked up real quick and then see how it looks inside the van. So here you can finally see what we put these drawer slides in here for. This is going to help with the weight distribution on the doors themselves. You can see here the light is hanging down. Yes, that's so I can fit a panel that's going to go above the head of the shower. But we've come a long way. Yes, this is temporary. I think the next part of the project is going to be really cool. But you'll have to come back next week for that installment of the shower install. We appreciate it, guys. Make sure you like and subscribe if you got anything out of this. And we will see you next time.